everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Beyond the Trailhead. Today we have an awesome guest with us. They are the owner and creator of RecPak. Deed is here just taking some time to kind of just tell us all about his company and how he kind of came to create this awesome food product. I've had a couple of them. I've had the chocolate one and I've had the vanilla chai one, and they're pretty awesome. But Deed, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I came across your product maybe about a year ago. I just DM'd y'all on Instagram and stuff like that, and just chatted a little bit with Joy, which is on your staff, and then met up with you guys at Switchback a few months ago as well, and enjoyed just the packing. And I'm a huge ultralight backpacker, so I love the fact that everything's literally like just super tight in here instead of a bunch of wasted space that people put their packaging in and stuff like that. So, loved it, tried it out, and thought since it was such a good product, love to kind of hear your story, how you kind of created things. So, I guess without further ado, if you want to just kind of let everybody know, who you are, I guess your background and stuff like that. And I know we chatted offline a little bit before, so I kind of know a little bit about you, but not everybody does. So, go ahead and fire away.
Yeah, absolutely. I come from a military background. Excuse me. Spent about 6 years in the Marine Corps doing a couple different roles in infantry and intelligence. And one of those roles, I was leading a sniper platoon, which, as you can imagine, it's actually pretty similar to maybe mountaineering or through hiking in a lot of senses. But at the end of the day, you're packing out and hiking everything that you have, and
Yeah.
there's few opportunities for refuel. It's really a situation in which every ounce counts. And then you're also in these kind of environments where you just don't have time to stop and have a meal. And so, obviously you've got military rations like MREs or meals ready to eat, which can be nice in the beginning of the day or at the end of the day when you're pretty hungry and you're sitting down. But I really wanted to have something where I was getting more complete nutrition, but I was able to do it when I was kind of on the move and busy with my activity. And then I also realized, just as a lover of the great outdoors, that this could really be useful for all kinds of outdoor activities. Whether you are doing some sort of mountaineering, as we talked about, through hiking, I mean, sea kayaking, there have been all kinds of different use cases. And then also, search and rescue while in firefighting, which has been really cool to support. After I got out of the military, I worked with a couple top endurance sports nutritionists to design the formulation so that it was really optimized for folks that are out there doing hard stuff in challenging environments. And then, yeah, as you mentioned, it is a complete meal, so 700 calories. It's contained in a flexible pouch, and so you can put one in your pocket. I mean, probably have to be a little bit, kind of a big pocket, but one in your pocket or a bunch in your pack. And you just add water and you shake it up and you can drink it on the move. And there's a number of benefits to it being a liquid meal as well. But yeah, we launched in late 2022. It's been a wild ride ever since. We're still a super scrappy small team. I'm glad that when you reached out on Instagram and you got Joy, uh, it it's very small. You're either if you reach out on email, you're gonna get me. If you reach out on Joy or on Instagram, you're gonna get Joy. And so we really like to have a very personal connection with the community that we built. So yeah, that was the original inspiration, and it's just been really amazing to see just all of the different activities that we've been able to support.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was a little bummed that I just was on the Colorado Trail, and I packed a ton of stuff, and we were doing about 25 miles a day, and going through that elevation of 25 miles a day we had to keep going. And if I was by myself, I would have just kept going, and if I had had this, it would have been a lot easier for me to just put water in it and keep going, as opposed to me having to sit down, boil water, get the meal ready, and then sit there and eat, you know? This I can walk with it and drink, and it's got a ton of calories. Because I always love getting, like, the super high-calorie meals. I hate the ones that are like you're packing all this weight for 350 calories, you know, and you're like, "Man, what why am I doing this when I need a lot of calories?" And I know in the military, well, I'm not in I've never been in the military, but I know in the military, like, I've had MREs, and I I mean, I'm sure you got sick and tired of those things eventually. Or I know you trade them off with the guys, like, who likes what and everything else.
You do. I mean, fortunately, they I mean, I don't know what it's like now. I mean, I hope that I mean, I've been out for what year is it? I don't know, 10 years.
2025.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've been out for almost 10 years, and so I hope that technology has changed. Actually, I think I always thought it would be really cool, and one of my long-term goals is to be able to get RecPak into the military, and we
Yeah.
some military customers already, which is very exciting. But yeah, I mean they've got everybody has their own flavors and recipes that they despise and that they love. Everybody seems to hate the egg one. I don't even know if it's still around or the omelet.
It's
I
there.
didn't mind
It's
the
still there.
omelet. Yeah, it's still there. Oh, good, because I didn't mind it, and it would always be left behind, so I would snag that one. But yeah, that was really the kind of meal option, and then the other option, again, same if you're out there hiking the Colorado trails, you've got snacks which are super great on the go, but you wouldn't consider a bunch of energy bars a meal.
Yeah.
Each has their kind of time and place, and we're not looking to replace the experience of like sitting by the campfire at the end of the day, or that really nice kind of time that you have to yourself in the morning. Nor, if you're on an ultra as an example and you just need a quick source of carbs and you've got
Yep.
a new pack, or if Rice Krispies are like the thing these days, we're not trying to replace that either. Um, it is really for those situations in which, yeah, you need more complete nutrition and you're on the move and you need to save space and weight, and those other options are just not as viable. And you can certainly augment RecPak with
Yep.
those other options as well. So
Yeah. That's cool because I actually just signed up for I had been wanting to sign up for this backyard ultra, and I officially just my wife and I were watching a video, and my wife turns to me on the couch. It was this comeback story of this guy who injured himself, and I had hurt myself on the Colorado Trail, and so she goes, "Sign up for it right now." So it's December 6th, and it's, like a 3.8-mile loop, near the start of the Appalachian Trail, and so I I only gonna have a certain amount of time to eat, right? And I'll have a crew and stuff like that, but I'm planning on trying these for my, for that race. So, when I'm training, trying to see how because I don't know how my stomach holds up a lot of times with food. I have an iron stomach is what my family always tells me, so I've been to, like, a bazillion different countries, eating street food in the middle of India and stuff like that, and everybody thinks I'm gonna get sick, and I'm fine. So,
I'm the same way, by the way. I was in India as well.
yeah,
Zero issues.
yeah. It's
Delicious
funny
street food, by the way.
it's funny how people like I have in my wedding side of me, I've done a lot of Indian weddings, and when I went to India, the first thing my Indian clients asked me when I got back was, "Hey, how long were you sick for?" Because they all would go over there and get their wedding attire and stuff like that because it's way cheaper,
Mm.
and they would come back and they'd all be sick from eating certain street foods or whatever, and I was like, "Oh, I was fine." So I'm glad you have an iron stomach because I think people who have an iron stomach for it's it's awesome because we can just eat whatever the heck we want when we want, even on the trail or wherever we're going. And other people have to be so sensitive about everything. Um, so I guess my next question is where was there a moment like when you were in the military or just at home, or how did this like whole thing just kind of pop in? Like, how were you like, oh, I want to create a food?
Yeah. Well, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me legally or anything, but if I would actually there was this whole movement, I don't know if you remember, I mean, Ensure has been around for
Mhm.
ages, but people generally think of that as just like for people in hospitals and retirement homes and stuff like that. And then Soylent had come out years ago, and it was by this software engineer who didn't. feel like taking the time to consume normal
Yeah.
food or food
Yeah.
like a normal person. And so, he just essentially ordered all these raw ingredients that would meet the daily nutritional value. And then he would just mix it all up, and then that became Soylent. And then after that, there's more meal replacements that have come out that are better and more high quality. No offense to Soylent. But when I was out in the field, I would just take out just bags of, of Soylent, and then I would have a shaker bottle, and then you'd have to really make sure that you washed out your shaker bottle because it could get really nasty, and then the
Yeah.
formulation itself was like for the average adults recommended daily nutritional intake. And so I thought, if again, if there was a solution in which the formulation was really more for folks like me that are doing these tough things in the outdoors, and there's got to be a better way to have the drinking receptacle so you don't have to bring a shaker bottle.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's kind of how I was born. And then so I worked, as I said, with a couple top endurance sports nutritionists, one of whom was the dietitian for the Steelers and had a bunch of experience with endurance athletes and military special operations, and kind of similar with the other one. And then the packaging concept, I think it's, the flexible packaging is more prominent these days, but I think back then it was less so. And so, yeah, I just thought of, what if the entire meal itself was entirely self-contained? Um, and yeah, the benefit to having a liquid meal, although it doesn't have that satiety, it doesn't satiate you in a way that eating actual food does. And I totally get why some people
Yeah.
are not into that. But having a liquid meal means that you are getting your nutrition more quickly. It's easier on the digestive system, and you're fueling and hydrating at the same time. So all these things
Yeah.
together, I was like, this is a really good idea. I should see how far I could take this. And
Yeah.
few years later, here we are, still trying to see.
No, it's awesome. One thing I love about it though too is I don't know how, because before we got on, I was telling you that, like, of all the people I've talked to, I think food is one of those really hard things because there's so many regulations and everything else. And I don't know how you got it, because I know I've mixed a ton of different protein shakes when I go to the gym or whatever too, and this mixes up so well. I don't get clumps and stuff like that, which I don't know the science behind it, but I just know, like, hey, I don't need an agitator and all this other stuff, and it mixes and it's smooth, and I'm not like, there's certain shakes or certain drinks and stuff like that you have that when you have them, you get like your stomach feels gross afterwards, right? But I
Mhm.
don't feel that's why I like this too, is I don't feel gross after I'm eating it, where there's other protein shakes or meal shakes that I've had where I just feel disgusting afterwards, like there's my belly sloshing around and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to hear that, because that's really what, aside from high quality ingredients and meeting a certain nutritional profile, that was really one of the main requirements, was that this needed to be soluble in water. We are continuously iterating on that. I mean,
Yeah,
some people, there is an expectation that, there's like the ready to drink mixes, and then
yeah,
some people, they get us, and then they add water, and then they don't follow my directions to let it
yeah,
settle for a few minutes, and then they're like, "Oh my god, there's still some soft clumps." I'm just like,
yeah,
there's a limit to what we can do with
yeah,
700 calories of powder. But I think overall, it part of that was selecting for ingredients that were just easily soluble in water without having to, like, there's no preservatives or, yeah, really any other ingredients that are included just to make it more soluble.
yeah.
We're
And
about
and
really ingredient selection.
and you don't have to drink it like right away. Like I don't have to down this whole thing. And I know, I mean, on the back, I know what it says, but I know, like, in the hot weather, I can drink it same day, so I can drink
Hmm.
half of it,
Yeah.
fill it up,
Yeah.
and then be ready to go. Whereas the other meals, if there's not been a actual like camping meal that has the Ziploc on it that I haven't had, that if I've tried to save it later, that it hasn't opened up in my bag or something. So
Totally.
I really appreciate this lid more than anything else, so that I can actually close it up and know that I'm not gonna get crap um, all over my gear. And didn't you guys just changed the packaging a little bit, right? Just updated it a little bit?
We did, yeah. So there's always been a resealable spout so that yeah, you could time your caloric intake because a lot of people, it's just not practical
Yep.
to drink 700 calories worth. But then yeah, we have introduced new packaging that is actually more just to make the production easier. But I am curious because in order to do that, we had to increase the width and length a little
Mhm.
bit, which I didn't really want to have to do. But yeah, if you have any feedback on it, if it's too big, let me know and we'll.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But I didn't even notice. Honestly, I have them right. I'm sitting in the background. You can't see it right now, but on the ground, I have them all sitting there. So when I'm doing a wide shot, they're in the background. But I put the new ones next to a few old ones that I have, and I didn't even notice. Other than I know the bottom's closed off, I didn't even notice it was wider. And you said it was wider and taller, or
A little bit, yeah.
yeah, yeah,
It's about like less than a, I don't know, centimeter or so.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the lid turn changed too, right? So now this is
A little bit wider,
yeah.
and it's now compatible with the Sawyer filter, which is pretty cool.
Oh, cool. So I could use this as like a dirty bag if I wanted to, or something like that too.
Sure. Pea bag too.
Yeah.
Good for that.
Well, on Mount Whitney, my wife is we've gone hiking a ton, but my wife's never gone to a place where you have to pack out your waste. And I told her, and she was like, "Are you telling me I have to carry it with me?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, I'll carry it with you. I'll carry it with me. You just have to give it to me, and I'll put it in a bag. Well, you'll give me the bag. I'll put it in a peanut butter jar or something like that." And she was like, "This is disgusting." And I was like, "It's just part of the life, you know."
Really, yeah.
So he's like, "I'm burying it." And I was like, "You can't bury it on granite. There's nowhere to put it." So
Right. Well, that's why, that's why there's a lot of glampers out there and no nothing against that either.
yeah, yeah. So I guess when you and this podcast is really to talk to not just people who go hiking and everything else, but a lot of people who are in the industry who do some sort of business, whether it's making tents or clothing and stuff like that. So make starting your business. What was maybe I was going to ask two questions. One is a good thing and a bad thing. So let's maybe start off with what is something that was challenging, or what was like a oh crap, this sucks kind of moment when you were creating your product, or since you've had your business.
Let's see. Everything. Just it's
Yeah.
everything is a challenge. Especially when you're starting from I mean, I had no experience in consumer packaged goods or product. I mean, a little bit of product development, but yeah, just starting absolutely from zero. And by the way, I'm always happy to I enjoy talking to other entrepreneurs and helping people out with their ideas and providing guidance where I can. So feel free to reach out. As I said, that we personally monitor all of our email and Instagram. So but yeah, just when you start out, you don't know anything. Your resources are super limited, and you also don't know what you don't know. And so that's why I really decided to work with experts and not like I was not going to be the guy that was going to actually design the formulation and source the
Yeah.
ingredients. Nor was I I didn't have like our packaging engineer had 40 years of experience. I was not going to be the guy that was like tinkering with the design or whatnot. But you don't even know how to source good good folks to work with. So like
Yeah.
even just it took me it takes a few iterations to do anything before you actually learn and you're learning hard lessons as you go, and we're still learning. And then so that was one major aspect, and then the second thing is I just kind of assumed that everybody's in love with their product and they're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing and so unique," and da, 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 da. And the hard thing is going to be getting it to market. And then once it's in market, everybody's going to be using it, and the word is going to spread, and people are going to tell their friends about it and whatever. No, once you get it to the market, that's just the first step.
Yeah.
then you have to sell it, and selling is really expensive and time consuming. And if you don't have the resources to have an expensive ad campaign or whatever, then it's even more time consuming. And so that is its whole other challenge. So, and then every day
Yeah.
there's some new thing, but you just get used to it and immune. There's like, as an example, I'm planning our next production batch, and one of our main ingredients has a 50% tariff on it. So it's just like, okay, well, now I guess we have to source, collagen from somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's just like, before that would have been like, oh my God, we have to go through this whole thing. But now it's just like, you just, you're just used to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, most of our ingredients are from the US, but there's some other ingredients that you just can't get here. So,
Yeah. Talking to people, I'm realizing how many different things that they, when they started their business, they're like, oh, I can do this here in America. And then they're like, oh, I didn't realize there's no way for me to make a certain package or a certain thing. It has to be in that country.
there's no way we're getting our coconut milk from the US.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's other things that we've looked at where it's just like, you could either do this here and it'll be $3 a unit, or you could do it abroad and it'll be 30
Yeah.
cents a unit. And so it's the difference of like, do you want your product to be $5 more than it is? I'm talking like, okay, if it's, $12 now, like,
Yeah.
there's big difference. If you're making a piece of, if you got a piece of gear or whatever and it costs 150, like $5 doesn't make a difference. But
Yeah.
well, actually for them, they have a whole other, for them, it's the difference probably between like, do you get this made for $25
Yeah.
or $75? So that's just the reality of it.
Yeah. Um, so I know you said coconut milk. So this is just a side note. It's not dairy free, right?
No, we use
Okay. Okay. I
uh
see.
yeah, WPI 90, which is like the very high quality whey, and
Okay.
then casein.
Okay. Because I'm super bummed. I always see people and I'm like, hey, when's
We
the
are gonna
dairy
do
free?
a plant-based version. I definitely want to do that. It's just
Yeah.
we've only a
Yeah.
few years or a couple years in, so we need to
Yeah.
I need to smooth things out for our regular production, and then
Yeah.
can get going. But
Yeah.
that will be the next main thing.
Yeah. Because my wife is allergic to milk, and I'm like, man, I want to take this with me, and I'm like, wow, I can't. And then I'm I'm vegan, and that like I tried to go vegan about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now. But if I have to eat dairy or whatever, I'm not like, oh, I can't have it, like especially on the trail, I'm like, I'll eat whatever I have to. But for
Hmm.
her, like she'll die if she has milk. So I'm like, okay, I got to make sure that like everything does not have milk in it, which is so weird because she can have butter and she's
Hmm.
100% fine, but if she has milk, her throat closes up. So
Yeah, my ex-girlfriend, she was severely allergic to dairy, and same thing. She could eat butter, but not milk. So
yeah,
eventually, though, I don't know, next year or two, it'll happen.
yeah,
We're gonna do it. We're gonna
that's
help
cool.
those folks.
Well,
I
I can
I
test that
sometimes
for you.
cook vegan, so I get it.
Yeah. So okay, so saying like that was about 50 different things of oh crap, like I think that's good for people to have that reality check of it's not easy. You might have the most amazing idea in the world, but you don't even know where to start, right?
Yeah, I would say go into it thinking, knowing that things are gonna take at least 2 to 3 times as long, and that if you better have a probably more significant budget than you think.
Yeah.
And the only way to cut costs is if you spend a lot of time doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're essentially choosing, do I bring on somebody who does this for a living and that's going to cost quite a bit more, or do I need to spend tens of hours at least to try and learn this new thing?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so going from the oh crap stuff to Oh, a huge win. What was a huge win since you started your business that you had?
I mean, I think we just did a lot of cool stuff, which, I mean, if I was doing this for money, man, I would have given up. I would just have a
Yeah,
regular job. That would have just
yeah,
been so much easier. So this is really just about the experience of creating something new and and having these I don't know, cool things happen and be able
yeah,
to contribute in a nice way. So I mean, it's cool that we're members of 1% for the planet. So every year we give to a couple of different conservation organizations. So it's really great being a part of that. Um, we sponsor AAC and AMGA. So sorry, American Alpine Club and American Mountain Guides Association. So again, cool to be part of that and get their newsletters and
yeah.
whatnot. And then I also really like just oh, and then we've donated a pretty significant number of packs over the years to like veteran outdoor organizations, youth organizations, and then also first line or frontline first responders and refugees in Ukraine a few years ago. So
Oh,
that was
cool.
also really cool. But it really is just about like, if you go to our Instagram and Joy, she's much more involved in engaging with the athletes than I am at this point. But just all of the cool uses for it, whether that's been um used by I guess some recent ones. There's a special operations veteran team that rode in what was it called? Like the world's toughest race. So they rode
Uh-huh.
from California to Hawaii, and we were a big part of that. Um, it's been to Everest and the Himalayas a few times. I have got some personal relationships with a couple of buddies in special operations, and so sent some over to their teams when they were deployed. And then also just like all the really cool customer stories that you hear of like there's I think he was like 64, really nice gentleman, and he got into ultras late in life,
Yeah,
and RecPak has fueled his ultras, and it's just like really cool,
yeah.
personal stories like that. So that's
Didn't
the
I
best. Like
see?
what, anytime that you have, the daily deluge of
Yeah.
just BS and nonsense as part of being a part of, a small brand, it's those moments that make it all worth it.
Yeah. Oh, I totally feel it because I think I saw somebody who was trying to set the FKT for the Appalachian Trail, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, right? And I was
Totally.
like, "Oh, dude," I was like, "Oh, he's using RecPak and he's loving it." So,
Yeah.
um, I
Yeah,
can't remember who
that
that
was
was.
awesome. Unfortunately, he did not make
Yeah,
it, but he got pretty far, and it was
yeah,
very cool hearing about his experiences and lessons learned. So
yeah,
yeah, all that kind of stuff.
yeah. I keep trying to send an FKT from my desk here to the fridge, that no
That's
one's
more
ever gonna need.
ambitious than me. I don't even bother.
Um, man, there was another question that popped in, and then I totally went off topic, and now I can't remember what it was. That was really good. Um, okay, so oh, that's what it was. I forgot to ask your background. Other than the military background, like, what do you do in the outdoors that you do for fun? That's your thing. Is it alpine stuff or hiking, camping?
Yeah, just mostly mountain biking, skiing, trail running, um, hiking. Yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of
Okay.
general lover and appreciator. Joy has more interesting stories than I do
Yeah.
because she is um, I mean, I think she used to be. I don't know what her schedule is now. I guess I should because, I'm paying the bills,
Yeah.
but she's a mountain guide for an outdoor educator for Knowles and does horse packing and all this amazing stuff. So she's probably more interesting to talk about than I am. I'm just like your average everyday guy who likes to get out there.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, when I talked to Joy, I was like, because everybody's so unassuming, right? You usually just walk up to somebody and you're like, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" And then I'm like seeing pictures of her like hanging on ropes and climbing mountains and stuff. I'm going, "Oh my gosh, you're so intense," you know?
Mhm.
I could never do that stuff. I could probably do that stuff, but my wife probably wouldn't let me. So
W Yeah, we actually met when I did a glacier mountaineering course in Alaska,
Okay.
and, she was one of the instructors, so and then I just was over time, I was just casually talking about what I was doing, and then, yeah, progressed from there.
That's cool. Okay, so now that we said the bad and the good, for somebody who's getting into the outdoor industry specifically, whether it's food or clothing or something like that, what's one thing, a piece of advice for someone who you're like, hey, you're getting in the outdoor industry, this is something to look out for, or this is a good thing to look out for, especially like I keep going back to the fact that like food, I know is just a lot because I have a friend who's doing a food out in Nashville, and he's like, "Man, this just the regulations are just such a pain." He's like, "Oh, I got everything done," and then they're like, "Oh no, this packaging has to be like this, or this has to be certified by this agency and stuff like that." So, what is like one
Mm.
thing you can tell to somebody who's looking to get into that, starting a business?
Well, I think it really depends on what area. I mean, I certainly have recommendations or guidance around food in particular, but I would say just overall, and this is not really for just the outdoors, but you really need to understand your audience and make sure that the product that you have is meaningfully different and useful. It can't just be like this marginal improvement because in general, you don't have the resources to do this whole like changing customer behavior is really hard.
Hmm.
So unless you have the resources to change that behavior, then it really only works for a like a very new or novel product.
Yeah,
Unless, I don't know, maybe you're like an influencer in the outdoor world and you've got however many followers and you could say, "Hey, I just came out with this like new protein drink and we're using this kind of protein instead of that protein." Um, yeah, making sure that I think you have that you really understand your user base and have then a novel product, and then you really focus on them, because it's really easy to get distracted.
yeah,
Like were part of this pitch competition, was it a week or two ago, and it was in Denver, and it was for general food, kind of like your Whole Foods
mhm,
crowd, and I knew that it just was not. I mean, I really like we only focus on the outdoors, and so I knew
yeah,
that this was not for us, but I did it anyway just because it
yeah,
was free, and I was, and I'm very thankful for them for um, accepting us, um, but yeah, I mean, we're an outdoor product, and we just had very little in common or overlap, and that time and efforts would have been much better spent just being like whatever task of the week we needed or I needed to get
yeah,
done. And so it's just being very diligent and focused on your users.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I think everybody needs because I I listen to so many things, and I'm always like, I just need one nugget out of everything that I listen to, and I think that's really good to have, um, knowing that it can't, um, like that influencer aspect is huge now, right? You see YouTubers all the time, especially like I mean, Mr. Beast is like a standout one, but comes up with a chocolate bar, right? And then Ryan Trahan has his candy, and all these guys have drinks and stuff like that, and they're literally just having they're marketing something that's already there. They're just using their marketing reach more than anything else. Their
Mhm.
product might not be anything good, which there's been a lot of crappy products by a lot of influencers that have come out and been like, the only reason people are buying it is because like my kids all the time, they're always like, "Oh, we should go and get this food." And I'm like, "Guys, that food sucks." You know? And then it's costing me a fortune or whatever, and then I'm wasting it, but it's just good marketing. And try to teach them, hey, they're marketing something that's really not good. Um, but yes, yeah, I think getting that for
And
that.
that's the thing is like because the regular person out there, the customer has no idea. They're just everybody's inundated with all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff ads and messaging and all that shit these days. And so that's why you need to have this really your product needs to be really good because regardless of who you are, you're going to need to spend a ton of time and resources getting it out there in the first place.
Yeah.
But if it's not really amazing, then nobody's going to again switch over and it'll just get lost in the, in the noise.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I would imagine it's the same for podcasting. If you were
Mhm.
to talk, if like every time it was like this completely new topic or group, people would say, "Oh, like, oh, well, I already get my information from, um, I don't know, like this climbing podcast.
Yeah.
Why would I switch over?"
Yeah.
So not to say that I'm telling you how to do your podcast.
No, no. Yeah.
Worry,
Yeah.
worry
No,
having a
because
good time.
I like when I listen to for me personally, and I know everybody's totally different when it comes to listening to content or whatever, is I love podcasts, but I don't necessarily love like 25 minutes of two guys or two ladies talking about whatever crap, I still want to know, like, I still want to buy into them as a person,
Mhm.
but I just want to get to the meat of the subject, right? I want to just like learn something from the podcast or listen to something interesting. I don't want to, like, there's one podcast I listen to, I literally skip 20 minutes ahead because they're just talking about what coffee they're drinking, and then, they're shooting the crap, like, and I'm like, "Guys, just get to the special speaker or whatever." I know that's other people love that, and there are certain people that I love to just listen to whatever junk they're talking about. But I'm like, "Hey, I know it's for me as a business owner because I do photography for a lot of different brands, and I actually just got an email from a brand today that I thought we were moving ahead with a big marketing campaign and stuff like that, and they're like, "Well, we don't really need it right now after all this." I feel like I wasted so much time, and they wanna still move ahead with stuff next year, but my marketing side is going, "But you need this content now, so when it comes to the beginning of next year, you have the content for when the season starts, as opposed to the season starts and now you're rushing for professional marketing content." Because we do social content and professional content, because I think there's room for both. You need a website that really looks clean and polished so people know you're an actual good, like an actual professional business product. But then you also need those people that connect with you on social media that see, oh, regular people are using this. It's not always just models and stuff like that. But sorry, I was just a rant because I just just before we got on here, I got the email and I was like, man, what the heck? I thought we were going ahead with this thing after all this talking and stuff
I
like
mean,
that.
I get it.
I'm sure you've had places that have potentially went to do orders, and then they call you back and they're like, oh, we've decided to not place an order or something like that for X amount of units, and you're just super stoked to get these units ordered, and now you're sitting on
I get emails that I hate reading like every other hour. So
them. I should just start a podcast where we all just sit there and like cry on each other's shoulder, just read crappy emails and stuff like that.
to be honest, I think that's what it should be. There's so
Yeah.
many, you know, entrepreneurial like hustle emails where it's just
Yeah.
sharing wins and all that. It's just like,
Yeah.
no, let's get into the nitty-gritty of
Yeah.
having to do something on your own, wherever that is, whether it's a product or a
Yeah.
brand or a podcast or whatever. Like, let's talk about how what uh the mundane nature of the day to day. Of
Yeah.
course, like, there's the wins, but yeah, what is when you get this long list of emails and none
Yeah.
of them are
Yeah.
what
None of
you're
them are
doing
good.
now.
Yeah. Just before I got on here, so I was swimming. So I went for a swim, and then I'm in the pool, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna get an email. So I get out of the pool, I look at my email, I'm like, sure enough, it's there, and I'm like, they don't want to move forward. Oh my gosh, I'm so ticked off. So I swam like an extra like half a mile. Just I was like, okay, I just need to get the frustration out. And then I got out of the pool. I was like, all right, well, at least they wanted to move forward in the future, right? And I know they do want to move forward in the future. It's not just they're not just pulling my chain and saying some super nice stuff. But I think that's why I want to try to get this podcast to be something where we can be fully transparent. People can be really transparent as opposed to just those entrepreneur podcasts that I listen to, and it's all these, oh, these huge wins. I'm like, man, why am I not crushing it all the time like these people are? But in reality, those people are just as much going through crazy hardships and stuff. They just want to put on this big facade that they're just this big hunky dory brand and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, people need to know that you can fail and you fail often, and that
Totally.
it's normal. It's like when you watch a reel and you see, ultra marathon people, like what you think you look like on the trail and then what you actually look like on the trail, you look like a complete idiot with your running. Like my running, like I look like an idiot when I run because one of my legs flops out to the side. But I feel like I look really cool on camera until I see myself running. And I think we need people. I think that would help people be even more successful because then they'd be like, okay, I can reach out to this person and learn from their loss so I don't have that screwed up moment. So that's good. Hey, the more authentic you want to be, go for it. So,
Sure, I'm about it.
okay, cool. So I think we kind of went over everything. I mean, unless you have anything else you want to say, I was just going to kind of go into our quick little rapid fire round. It's literally just a handful of questions that you just give me like 1 or 2 word answers to.
Sure. No, I mean, the only thing other thing was, yeah, happy to give your, listeners, viewers, a special discount, so
Okay, awesome. Yeah, well, I'll get maybe we can get a code and I can put
Mhm.
it in the YouTube video link and then on the actual podcast link um, to get them a discount. That'd be awesome because I think everybody needs to at least try, what it is and stuff like that because it's especially I'm just about to try your coffee one. I was telling you like I'm gonna try. You have a coffee version, vanilla chai, and then chocolate, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And so the vanilla chai is my favorite, just 'cause I love chai, lattes, so I like the vanilla chai. Chocolate's good too, and then I'm saving the coffee one for Mount Whitney in a few days. So,
Yeah. Let me know how it
um,
goes.
I hope it goes good. I'm worried about elevation with my wife, that's the only thing. So, because we live at, like, 700, 800 feet. So,
Thanks for that world.
alright, so I'm gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions, and then, you just one-word answer them or quick, and then I'll just kind of let people know where they can find you, stuff like that afterwards. So, all right, here we go. First question: coffee or electrolyte drinks on the trail?
Um, Electrolyte drinks.
Electrolyte. Give a
Can be
good flavor.
versatile flavor. I mean, I'm like you, I'm just like a what do they call it? Like a trash panda with an iron stomach, so,
Yeah,
especially when I'm going, I just don't really care.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
So I
favorite
do
national.
some caffeinated before an activity, like
Yeah,
whatever in the morning, and then yeah, and then electrolytes to sustain.
yeah. I have such a collection of just random electrolyte drinks that I just try. So I'm like, oh, I just go in the closet. I'm like, I'm gonna try this one today, and then I'm
Mhm.
like, oh crap, this sucks. Now I run just my mouth's full of this some weird aftertaste.
I also go to enough trade shows where they're always handing out all these sickles, so I've just got like a
Yeah,
bulk bucket full of them.
yeah. At the end of the trade show, and they're like, here, take these boxes of electrolyte or snacks because I don't want to fly back with them. All right, favorite national park.
I was actually just at Zion and Arches. Uh, Man, that is tough. I mean, I guess the tried and true, like Yosemite,
Yeah, that's
but
our family's. That's our family's favorite one too. Is Yosemite. It's
oh
like
yeah.
super.
Well, actually, I was no, no. Most recently, I was in Olympic. I don't know if that was
Okay.
my. It's really hard. It's really hard to say. But yeah, also Yosemite, just a classic and
Yeah.
completely boring answer. But anyway,
No, that's good. I think everybody else says Yosemite just because it's got a lot. It's like the classic place to go.
I'm in the
Um,
Bay also, so sort of close.
oh, so you're really close.
Hmm.
What's that like a 3.5 hour drive?
Yeah, depending
Yeah.
on traffic.
Okay. I think we're flying into for Whitney. We're flying into Vegas because Vegas is like falling apart right now. So I was able to get tickets to Vegas for like 125 bucks round trip, and then hotel was free. I was like, okay,
Sweet.
thank you, Mandalay Bay. All right, last thing you Googled related to your business.
I've actually replaced Google with AI,
Okay.
and I think I mentioned before it was that trying to figure out our collagen because these tariffs are killing us
Yeah.
with certain things. So yeah,
Okay. Um,
that's how you know
before
we're in 2025 as I'm using AI to try and figure out this tariff
yeah,
stuff.
it's like talking to a super genius.
Mm-hmm.
Solo hike or crew mission?
Depends on the length.
Yeah.
I enjoy both. Getting out there solo, but after a certain period, you know,
You need human interaction.
you start just talking to nature, the trees.
You could talk to AI while you're out there.
That's pathetic. I'm not that.
All right. Worst trail snack you've ever tried?
Hmm. I don't know. I've eaten a lot of gnarly stuff. Probably, I don't know. I just, I think it, you get stuff years ago and then it expires, but then I find it in the bottom of my pack. That happens actually quite often. So
It's
it's
just all
just
rancid.
something that's been expired for like 5 years, probably.
Okay. If you, this is, I like this one. This is one of my favorite questions. If you could collab with any brand, who would it be?
Hmm. Sorry, I know these are lightning rounds, but this is tough.
I know. So some of them are like, we can always flip back to that. I can always come back because the other ones
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you are either.
Hmm. I mean, we have done so we actually have a giveaway with Mammut
Oh,
that's
cool.
coming up in a couple of weeks. So that's really cool. That's like a big win for us just being just really any sort of interaction like with these legendary brands I think is really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Um I'm trying to think of something really novel though that would be like food related like we like team up on a flavor.
Oh, that'd
That
be really awesome if you were like, hey, let's do Pebbles cereal flavor. I don't know.
yeah. What is a really legit food brand with a really novel flavor that we could or yeah, that we could team up with?
You could
That
do
was
some fun
fun.
stuff for April Fools, I'm sure too.
Yeah, I like that. That'll be my answer without having an actual brand, but or maybe like a celebrity flavor, like
Yeah.
Jimmy Chin's Fruity Pebbles.
Yes.
There's my answer. I've
Yeah. Find
teamed
out
up
what his
with
favorite flavor is and then do
General and this is RecPak, Jimmy Chin, and General Mills. Uh, yeah.
that'd be cool. Yeah, you can do, I mean, I can totally see like, I love April Fools jokes when companies come out with like, oh, we came out with this flavor. And next thing you know, so many people buy into it and you're actually making that flavor or
Hmm.
making that piece of clothing.
Yeah. What would be a really weird? I'll have to think about some really silly,
Yeah.
weird April Fool's thing.
All right. What's one outdoor skill you still kind of suck at?
Hmm. I consider myself a jack of many trades and a master of none. So, um,
Everything.
I don't know everything. Yeah.
All right. And then
Maybe
last one.
knots are something that I've like every once in a while. I'm like, I need to get better at knots, and then I will do it for a little while, and then I'll just forget about it, and then I forget entirely.
Yeah. And then it
That
doesn't
I need
stick, right?
more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I cannot, every time I tie my guy lines for my tent, I'm like, how do I do that knot again? So I'd end up just tying like 5 or 6 granny knots and then just throwing that cordage away and redoing it later on.
Yeah, like I've got the instructions for a trucker's hitch on my phone just because I never remember it. So,
All right. What's your go-to other than your product? What's a go-to trail snack for you?
hmm, I like honey, so I think honey stinger is pretty good.
Yeah.
Um,
Those are awesome. I love those.
yeah.
I could eat those like crazy.
I mean, I just like getting, I don't know, like for a quick source of carbs. I mean, I also will do this thing. I don't know if you, wait, where are you again?
In Georgia.
Oh, okay. So they don't have them, but there is this discount supermarket, grocery store called Grocery Outlet, or they call it gross out. And they have all of these like bougie food snacks that you can normally get at Whole Foods or whatever, but they're like
Yeah.
half off. Sometimes they're expired, which I eat expired food apparently. So, but I enjoy just getting random snacks from there just to test them out, and then yeah, I'll just take them on the trail. So that's my it is both for kind of user research and
Yeah.
just my curiosity.
Yeah.
So
That just makes me realize that I've never said mine, and I think mine not my go-to, but the one I always crave is I love tortillas with peanut butter and Nutella, and just roll them up. I can just eat
mm,
that every day, all day long. I have a huge sweet tooth, so and then
likewise, I love Nutella.
it keeps on trail real good. So, all right, and then last question, pretty easy one. What's one word you'd use to describe the outdoor industry right now?
Oh, I remember the grossest thing that I've ever eaten on the
Okay.
trail. There was a because you cheese. I mean, you could. It doesn't actually need to be refrigerated for pretty extended period.
Yeah.
Um, and so I decided to test this theory because there was a um string cheese at the bottom of my pack that was like
Uh-huh.
6 months old, and it had been in all kinds of temperatures, and I was just like, I'm gonna see what this is about. And sure enough, it did not taste the best, and the consistency was weird.
Yeah.
I did not get sick, probably because of my iron stomach. So that would be the worst
All right.
thing.
I've always heard that those string cheeses or like those Kraft Slice cheeses and stuff are basically like one molecule away from being plastic.
They
So
certainly taste like it.
maybe
And
that's what maybe that's what it was.
right, I'm sure if it was a good cheese, I would have been might be dead right now. So
Yeah.
sorry,
Awesome.
what was the question?
So the last one was what's one word to that you would use to describe the outdoor industry right now?
Hmm. Probably troubled. It is a
Yeah.
tough time out there between tariffs and public lands. There's a lot of nonsense going on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's if that's an interesting I love that question. It's a little interesting one to find out what
That is
people are
really
saying. So
interesting. We'll end on that
uh,
sad note.
yeah. So let's end on a happy note now. I should ask you another one. Let's do Lucky Charms as a collab. So Lucky Charms flavored.
I dig it.
Um, that way, or what we could do. My wife's Korean, so we could do like a Korean flavor,
Get
right?
kimchi,
Kimchi flavor. Oh, that
savory.
would be rough, man. If you had kimchi in this, that would be. I mean, it would last,
Yeah,
but it would
people would
be
just
like spicy.
talk about emails I don't have to answer. It would be hundreds of customers being like, my rec pack is rotten. I'd like my suing you, and I'd like a refund.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Dee, I really appreciate you being on and being willing to kind of share, just like honestly sharing, which is great. I feel like you were super open and honest about the ups and downs of everything else and stuff like that. So, where can people find you guys on the web to order product or your socials and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we are on our website and then also on Amazon. And then we are in a number of stores across states that are mostly in the Mountain West and Pacific, but still pretty small retail presence. So yeah, website and Amazon is probably your best bet.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And then what's your social or what's your web address?
RecPak CO.
Okay,
RecPakCO. Yeah, lots of cool stuff on there.
awesome. Well, cool. I appreciate you being on, and everybody, thank you for listening so much to Be on the Trailhead. And I look forward to trying out more of your meals and the coffee one real soon. Thanks so much, Dee.
Yeah, thanks, Craig.